4 months maybe from the time you're back to 100% to the time the case settles and you have a check in your hand. Hello, my name is Darren Woodfork. I'm an attorney here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And today I want to talk about if you've been involved in a car accident, what the timeline is as far as how long it takes to start and end the case when you have a lawyer and you file a claim against the other guy's insurance company and all that. So basically it's about 8 months, maybe 6 months from beginning to end. And here's what happens. When you're in an accident, first of all, we wait. As your lawyer, I wait. The insurance company waits. Everybody waits until you feel better. And so whether that's physical therapy, whether that's chiropractic care, whether that's your broken bones to heal, whatever all the time that it takes for you to recover, that's what everybody is waiting for. And that can be 6 weeks or that can be 2 years. Again, the only thing that matters is you getting better after an accident. Once you get better, and actually kind of before, towards the end when you're about 90% getting back better, we start to grab your medical bills. So as your lawyer, I go ahead and get all your medical bills that you had for all the time you were treating. I gather up all your medical bills and your medical records. One thing I'll note as I'm recording this now in 2025, as far as getting your medical records and your bills, back before COVID, back before 2020, we would always send out our attorney request, and it would take about 60 days for the hospital to give us your medical records and everything. After obviously the HIPAA release, after we send over the HIPAA release and all that, it would take about 60 days to get our records back from our attorney request. The hospitals would charge us like $80 to get your records. And then we'd finally get your records. But once COVID started and everything kind of went online and everything was kind of like virtually, one of the things that I've done at my office, I don't know if other attorneys have done this, but I will always suggest to you, if you want to get your medical records directly from the hospital, as the injured person, as a patient, you have an absolute right to your medical records and your medical bills and all that. And if you request them from the hospital yourself, then that's going to happen in about a week at the most. The hospital will give you your records in a week, and then you can get your records, and then you can give them to me, and then we'll have them all, as opposed to the 60 days, 70 days it takes in order to get your medical records through the attorney request. If the patient gets them directly, it's usually within a week, and it's free. There might be a minimal $6 copy charge or something like that if you get your records directly, but it won't be the $80 that they charge us as a law firm. So anyway, then once you get your records and all that stuff, then I put together a demand letter. I include a letter basically saying how bad the accident is and what the exposure is to the insurance company if they go to trial and lose. And we come up with a figure to demand settlement of the case. It takes me about 30 days to draft that, to get all that together. Once I send it over, there's usually a deadline of 30 days for them to respond. Sometimes that goes out a little bit longer, until about 45 days. And then they'll send us like a first offer. And then from there, it takes about 2 or 3 weeks to negotiate back and forth a fair offer of settlement. And so that's kind of the timeline from beginning to end. What I will add also is that at the end, when we settle your case, sometimes, or probably half the time actually, I will go back to the hospital and the medical providers and ask them for a reduction. That sometimes takes another couple weeks, maybe a month, to get the medical providers to agree to a reduction, because then that reduction will get more money into your pocket when it's all said and done. I think I have a video about that some time ago where I talked about the medical reducing. If I can remember, if I can find it, I'll put it up in the card or I'll put it at the end of the video. But anyways, as a part of my service to my clients, I will help reduce their medical bills for them so they get more money in their pocket. So that extends to the timeline. So anyway, so based on all that, you can see it's about 4 months maybe from the time you're back to 100% to the time the case settles and you have a check in your hand. So anyways, hope that helps. If you're involved in a car accident, if you have any questions, please shoot me an email at DerronW, that's DERRONW @MSN.com, or please give me a call here at my firm at 602-284-3035. Thank you, and please like the video and subscribe. Thank you.